The factor that you'll multiply against your profits, which works out what you eventually receive, is dependent. It depends from practice to practice. So when we look at the factor effectively is something that's multiplied against the annual future sustainable cash flows of a practice. What does that mean? Well, the future sustainable cash flows are what you're likely to receive each year if you buy that practice. It doesn't include a VAT refund that you might have got last year, because you're not going to get that VAT refund this year. Once you've worked out what the future sustainable cash flows are, it's down to effectively the seller to work out what he thinks the buyer will pay as a premium for that business. And the premium, or the factor, can go between 2 and 6. If it's 2, then the buyer is likely to put some high risk element to that. It might be a new practice, it might be a practice where the profits have been fluctuating from year to year, it might be a practice that has got some competition that's just come in very close, and the buyer is a little bit worried of what impact that might have on the sustainable cash flows. If it's 6, then that practice is looked at as a premium practice. It will have a high gross profit, it will have robust revenues. Through a recession, those revenues may have stayed the same or may likely have increased. So it's a very good practice, it's a safe practice. And in order to buy that practice, you might pay a multiple of 6 times those annual sustainable cash flows. 6 times means a return on investment of just over 16%, whereas a factor of 2 means a return on investment of 50%. You see quite a risk there, and you want quite a return for that risk. So between 2 and 6 is applied to the cash flows of the business, and that gets us our figure for goodwill. That's what your practice will be worth.